ready for takeoff.
We are cleared for takeoff.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time to take flight in your community and in your life. This is Audio Airstrike.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Everett Hall-McNeill. This is Audio Airstrike. Happy New Year. Thank you for joining us. As you can see, with the new year, we have basically decided to pick a new venue, and this has been provided by none other than a good friend of mine and reoccurring guest. This is Neal Carter. He is a motivational speaker. He is a pastor. He is a jack of all trades in a lot of ways. He's very resourceful. But the one thing he's passionate about is the impact through dance and also teaching. So with that being said, hey, man, good to have you here.
What's up, bro?
What's going on with you, man?
Man, it's good to be here. Always a pleasure, man. I always feel like I'm at home, so thanks for having me again.
That's not a problem, man, because I look at it like this, right? You've been on Audio Airstrike, and anybody who's, followed us, I always have my reoccurring guests come in. I have Jeff come in, I have Lou come in, I have Capo come in, I have you come in, I have Valentina come in. The reason why I have y'all come in is because y'all always bring a level of perspective that sometimes I'm not even thinking of.
Yeah.
And so I think that's very important because I want this to kind of be a platform where we kind of have different perspectives and get down to what life is all about or where life is at currently within society and culture. So
as we should have.
Yeah, that's the whole gist of the show, man, is trying to learn from each other and trying to grow better as we continue on this journey. So I wanted to catch up with you, man, because with it being a new year and we've had conversations and life changing and with stuff going on, where are you at currently in life in terms of the last time we've talked?
Man, wow, that's a good question. I'm in a process in my life where I am doing everything possible to see everything that's in front of me. I believe that in circumstances, God always shows himself. And I think sometimes we miss it because we're not always looking for God in moments where it may be hard to see him. So I'm at this point in my journey, I'm in a hard place, but I'm also in a good place. I'm learning a lot. I'm growing, just going deeper in so many ways. And so I'm just taking every moment as it comes. And while I'm in a tight spot in my life, it's not the worst. It's not killing me. So I'm here. And one day I'll come onto the show and we'll actually talk about what I'm personally going through right now. I don't know that now is the time, but I do have to be honest with myself in this moment, as you've asked. I'm not, I don't have it all put together, and no one does. But I'm finding my way through circumstances in my life that I'm going through, and just learning and growing, and again finding every moment, special, and trying my best to see God and everything. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, and I definitely can piggyback off that because everybody is in a certain season right now. You're either on the trajectory of something or you're either on a slope. And there's nothing wrong with being on either or. I want to make that clear. There's nothing wrong with being on either or. But it's important to realize where you're at and then figuring out the steps to push through, either to ascend or either to reevaluate.
Yeah.
And when we sit over here and we talk about the new year, and I think a lot of people, they make this mistake every year, but I think people are now starting to catch on. The mistake that was made every year is that people will sit over here and get way too excited over the new year. New me, new year. Development doesn't have a beginning point. You just start developing. Nurturing doesn't have a beginning point.
Yeah.
When the time comes, it's time to nurture somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like having a child. Like it's not something that you're never really ready for that. And I've had several people ask me, like, what is it like having a child? Like, how do I prepare? How do I get ready? How do I, transition into this time in my life? And I've shared with everyone the same message, and is that you take each day as it comes. It's not about, how can I get ready? Because you're going to always be finding things that you're just not ready for.
Right.
And so it's not about getting ready, but it's about being ready when the time comes. And not, because you're not in a position to be stuck. So you're forced to do something. But it's about being ready when the time comes. It's not necessarily about how do I prepare, because sometimes life, there's no, let me set you up for what's to come. Sometimes you don't know. And tomorrow is a new day, and something can just happen, and good or bad. And whether you're ready for it or not, you're going to respond in the moment the way you feel like is right. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so like a new year, new me whole mindset, I think, while I think it's a good mindset to have, where we mess up is that we don't stay consistent. So everybody's, they start off this way. And that's why I always say I like to make everything a lifestyle. If it's something that I want to do that's beneficial for my life, I want to make it a lifestyle, because once it becomes a lifestyle, it's something that's a part of you. It's something that you can't live without, because it is something that you've adopted. You know what I mean? And you need it now, where if it's one of those things where people just, I'm going to do this, I'm going to jump on the bandwagon and I'm going to do that because it's a trend. And it's like, but how long is that going to last? Because.
And also, is it going to be fulfilling?
Yeah. I've
seen people hop on trends and it's not fulfilling, because the trend did not require your calling. You hopped on it because it was a trend.
Come on, man. I'm about to start preaching. Hold on. Time out. I'm about to start preaching.
You hopped on something. And look, I understand we're keeping things up to date and we have to be with the times. And trust me, nobody understands that more than me.
Yeah.
We have to be updated with the times, even as we getting older and becoming as young adults. But your calling is not dictated by trends. Your calling is dictated on where is the calling going.
Yeah.
Where is the need for the calling?
Yeah.
That is what leads to calling. When you dance and you're teaching people, it's bigger than dance.
Yeah.
You are instilling in them self-confidence. You are instilling in them life goals and life tools that they can use way beyond dance.
Mm-hmm.
They can use that in business. They can use that in finance. They can use that in art. They can use that in their everyday life.
Yeah.
They can use that with their friends. They use that with their family in a positive way.
Mm-hmm.
We're given these gifts not to follow trends, but it's to put where the need for the calling is.
Yeah. And it's crazy too, because I think we need to, like as you said in the beginning, we need to reevaluate. And I think instead of following the trends for our business or our dreams and things of that nature, I think we need to figure out how can I fit the trend into what I'm doing, not me fit into the trend. You know what I mean? Because I believe that when you try to fit into something that is not, valuable for whatever you're trying to do or accomplish in life, because you're following and it's not coming from a place of your own desires and passions and dreams, you're going to always find yourself unhappy or unfulfilled, because that's not the way. The only way to truly live out your calling, as you said, and live out, things that you are passionate about, is to stand on the foundation in which your vision has given you, right? The tools and the dreams and things like that to chase after, use your calling to chase after these things that you're passionate about. But how do I make everything fit into my world instead of me trying to fit into society's way of saying do this or do that or follow this or follow that? And if you don't follow it, you're not going to be successful, or you're not doing it the right way, or whatever. And we get so hooked up on all of these things, like the new year, new me stuff. It's like, how can I make this work for me where I'm not following what everybody else is doing, but I'm making it work for me because I'm taking it and I'm allowing it now. It's not me saying, hey, can I be a part of the trend? Can I be a part of the trend? It's me saying, no, I'm going to allow the trend to be a part of me, so that now I control how this thing goes, how it operates, versus me follow the trend, because the trend is always going to take the lead because the trend was what it was and you hopped on it. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. It goes deep. That's why I said don't let me start preaching, man, because
but I do think that it is crucial, because I remember Jay-Z saying, "Don't go with the flow, bleed the flow." He said verbatim, "Don't go with the flow, be the flow."
Yeah.
A lot of people tend to follow the trend, but they're never the trendsetter.
Yeah.
If you look at the most polarizing people in our society right now, we ain't got to name them because you can look. It ain't that hard. The reason why they are so polarizing, not because they say a whole bunch of outrageous stuff. It's because they set certain trends that become viral and become movements.
Yeah.
You take away all the glitz and glamour. They have figured out a way to be the trendsetter.
Yeah.
Somebody with a narrow mind said, "Oh, this is stupid. This will never get over." Every time a trendsetter sets a trend, there is always somebody on the sideline or in the stands critiquing things. And when you sit over here and you look at your vision and your dream, and you look at sports, and you look at the way a team comes together and gets a chip, it wasn't one play that did it. It was a series of plays throughout each quarter.
Yeah.
That carried the momentum for them to win a chip.
Yeah. All the pieces were there.
All the pieces were there. The scheme was there. The players were there. The problem is that some people think that they can get a touchdown off one play. That doesn't happen often.
Yeah. Yeah. That's because everybody's trying to get the quick fix.
But the quick isn't fulfilling.
Yeah.
The journey to the destination is what makes everything fulfilling. And people
absolutely.
get it screwed up every single time. It's crazy because you'll get there so fast. It was like, dang, I missed out on the moments.
You missed out on the moment. It's like
I missed out on the journey.
And the crazy part about it, you think at that point, you think you've arrived. And then you're at the top and you're like, so what's left? What's left? I mean, is there anything else?
Instant gratification is just that. It's instant. It doesn't last.
No. I think you have to, like you said, you have to enjoy the journey, because that's the whole fulfillment right there. That's where the fulfillment comes in at, is the journey. It's not getting to the top. There's a whole lot of people that got to the top and then said it was lonely. A whole lot of people that got to the top and they weren't, fulfilled.
There's people that are on legendary runs right now. They don't have time to look back and be like, man, this is good. They got to keep on going to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing.
Yeah.
And they don't have time to really sit back and go, wow.
Yeah.
I accomplished that.
You know what's crazy? Let's talk about this, because I feel like we should. Since we're going down this road, so many people. Let's just talk about, and I guess let's talk about the mental health side of this, because so many people reach the top and they're not fulfilled. And let's just put it out there. So many of them fall into depression. They deal with anxiety on a high level. Mm-hmm. And most of them, many, fall into a deep, deep depression that leads to suicidal thoughts. And I think it's something that we don't often talk about, that needs to be talked about, because so many people have these expectations in life and they don't know how to maneuver through these expectations, because let's just be real, there are expectations that we all have and that we all want to succeed or be successful in. But at the same time, nobody's on the back end saying, okay, what happens when you don't get there, or what happens when you get to the top and now you're lonely. You've reached all your success. You've reached all of the things that you wanted to reach. You've accomplished all of these great things. You have the money, the fame, or you have the popularity, whatever you want to call it. And now yet you feel like the most loneliest person in the world, to the point that now you want to, you want to either, end it all. You fall into some deep depression and you're trying to climb your way back out and find your meaning in life,
Mm-hmm. But I think also what people don't tell you is that when you get a certain level of fame and when you accomplish what you want to accomplish, and let's say that let's just pick a famous TikToker, for example. Let's say somebody's TikTok famous. When you finally accomplish that, oh, I made it. People know me. People also have their hand out because there's false equivalencies that are going on, because in their mind, they're looking at the numbers and going like, you have a large following, which automatically equates to dollars. And sometimes, depending on what type of public figure it is, it's not true. Now you have that to deal with. Also, you have people that will come around that left you in the dust years ago. They want to come back around. They're looking for a handout too. You say no. Next thing you know, you get a nasty tweet, a nasty social media comment. They running a campaign on you.
Yeah.
Every single successful person has a pocket of haters.
Yeah. Because the thing about the success is now that you have to live up to it. You thought that you were just doing something to, you probably looked at it like, I'm just trying to make it. I'm trying to get popular. I'm trying to be, that guy, that girl on social media or just in life in general. And now you've reached this great level of success, or it's not even just because you have a bunch of followers doesn't mean you've arrived, right?
Right.
But let's just say you consider yourself to be successful social media, TikToker or Instagrammer or whatever you want to call it.
Social media influencer.
And then you get there and now you have to maintain all of that. Because now people looking at you, they're like, when you gonna post another video? Is it gonna be as good as the last video? Now they holding you to an expectation, like it's not that funny. So now you getting comments like, your first video was better. It wasn't that good. You should quit. You should stop. You trash now.
And I had
you used to be good.
I hate to say it. Fans are fickle.
Yeah. And the thing about it, a lot of people, they sometimes they make that one hit but they can't. I can't tell you the number of comedians on social media, the number of, TikTokers who blew up, who went famous or whatever. Now they're being trashed because they couldn't, this is going back to what you talked about in the beginning, they couldn't maintain what they started. Because what they started just kind of randomly happened. It was a moment. Like, let's just do a crazy video about whatever. And then you did the video and then it blew up. And you didn't plan to keep doing it. But when you're living out, goes back to your purpose. When you're living out your purpose, it changes things. When you know your calling and your purpose in life, it changes everything. Because now, no matter what you put out, you're going to be consistent with it and you're not going to lose the vision, the mission, because of the reasoning behind it. It's not just something that you're doing because you like it or it's a hobby, but it's fulfilling because it's your purpose. It's your goals. It has meaning to it. And so regardless of the nasty comment, regardless of whether people hold you to an expectation, now it might hurt from time to time, but at the same time, it's not going to destroy you. And you're going to know how to continue doing what you're doing and maintain that because you know the reason, you know your why, and your why is much bigger than anything that someone can throw at you or say about you. Once you establish your why, it's going to overpower anything else because that's your reason. That's why you live. That's why you move. That's why you have your being, is because whatever God placed you here on this earth for, you're living that out every single day. And that's the foundation that he put inside of us, right? And so now nothing can tear that away. Nothing can break that down, because that comes from a place that you nor me or no human can ever tamper with. We can poke all we want, but we'll never pop the bubble, because that bubble is the foundation that it's on is Christ. And so, you can't stop what God has for somebody. And so no matter what happens in between that, you're good. Yeah. Even if it hurts sometimes.
And sometimes pain creates character.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes pain instills responsibility and accountability. And the number of times I've seen public figures and social media influencers go through a lot of the issues that they go through in front of their audience, it is a humbling experience, because I think sometimes also when that camera turns on, you're getting a fabricated version of that person. Mm-hmm. It's not authentic, the uncut, raw them. It's not. What you want is the, hey guys, give me a like and a subscribe and do all this and that.
Yeah.
I'm not like that every day.
Yeah.
The person doing that is not like that every day.
Mm-hmm.
There is what they are in front of the camera. And when that camera's off and they go back home, they tired as crap. What are they like then?
Mm-hmm.
It's a totally, and with some people, it's a total 360. With other people, there are very few people out here that what you see is what you get with them. It is a short list.
Yeah.
Every generation of influencers and entertainers is a very short list, or anybody trying to do their best. It's a very short list of people that you see when they get in front of that camera, when they're in front of the audience, that you are getting an authentic version of them. It is rare, because I'm going to be honest with you, some people are more concerned about putting on the mask to let you be entertained publicly. They do not want you knowing who they are privately.
Mm-hmm.
Some people want the solid, some people want the privacy. It's not that they turn around and they acting fake privately. It's some people don't want to have their privacy devalued.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think that also speaks to not, you got to know what you want in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
When you start, whatever you're doing, you have to lay the ground rules in the beginning. And I know that, and it sucks. It sucks because in a way you shouldn't feel like you have to do that. But because of the way the world is designed, the way it is wired, you have to. And the reason I say that is because, like you said, once the camera is on, like, you got to continue to try to be a character, somebody that you're not. And you don't want to be that when you're just home and you're chilling with family or friends, but then sometimes, even then you start to feel like you have to be that all the time, even for friends and family. But it's one of those things where you got to lay the ground rules. Like, this is who I want to, this is what I'm doing. And I want to have this, but I want to have it like that. Don't hold me to this, because this is the way I said I wanted to do it in the beginning. And this is what I'm giving you. Like, that's why I feel like even when people post on social media, I like to think that we post what we want to post. We let people see what we want them to see.
Mm-hmm.
We let people into our lives on social media the way we want to let them in. And this is the reason why social media, just my personal opinion, should not be used for personal life situations. Like, whatever business you have, that's fine. Whatever you want to do on social media, whether you're a motivational speaker or dancer or singer or whatever, all those things are cool. Or you want to be a comedian, do all of those things, but you have to draw the line. You have to know where you want it to stop, because if you don't, people are going to drive you into the hole, because they're going to always hold you to that, even when you don't want to, that's like, think about, like, let's just say, let's use a comedian, when they post like a funny video, they get a lot of attention because they're keeping everybody happy. But then the moment they go and post something random that's not a funny video. It's different. The likes are different. The comments are different.
The whole algorithm is different.
It's different. It's different. It's almost like, it's not to put it out. I'm not to diss anybody, but I'm gonna put it out there. It's almost like a woman who, when she go on social media, she posts a picture of her bikini or some booty shorts or something like that. Likes will run up, but the moment she posts, let her post her man, just her and her man walking down the street. She ain't gonna get the same amount of likes.
Yeah,
it's gonna be different.
Yep, way different.
Then she can post a booty picture, and everybody's gonna like it.
Yeah,
she gonna have 1,000-something likes, but the moment she posts her and her man walking down the street, she would. I've seen it a million times. She would not have 1,000 likes.
Yeah, because the fan base was in their brain. They are used to you a certain way. They want to visualize you a certain way. You're single. You're hot. Now you have this dude in the picture.
Who's that?
Now, who's this? This is news to me. Oh, I don't know if I like him. And you know how some people are. I don't know if I like him. What's
now,
he doing?
Yeah,
over
now
there
you
with?
brand new. We're used to you posting this. All these nice shots about your booty, whatever. Now you posting that you're in a relationship. It's a switch up, and that's why I said it's sad, because it shouldn't be that way. And it's not that the person is necessarily becoming a different character or a different person, but they're in a relationship. They're happy. They want to post it. It's whatever. But the world don't see it that way. The world see, oh, booty shot, booty shot, booty shot, booty shot. Now all of a sudden they see relationship, and it changes to them. It changes the way that they see you, and so they're not gonna like it. They want you to keep being the person that posts what they want to see, so that it satisfies them. Seeing you in a happy relationship is not going to satisfy them. They don't care. But as long as
especially if they're in a bad one.
Come on.
Especially if they're in a bad one. The last thing they're trying to see, and I hate to say this.
Yeah.
When you are coming out of a situation, the last thing you're trying to see is, and I hate to say this, it's kind of weird how we're wired, but the last thing you were trying to see is somebody talk about how happy they are. There's some days it's like that, dude.
Yeah, misery loves company, man.
Right.
So, people don't applaud that. That's why, I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but I haven't even I've been like MIA on social media because of a lot of what I'm going through. But then too, it's just nobody cares. Nobody really cares, bro. They want to see the Neal that they always known. Nobody really cares about, and that's why you can't go and put your whole life out there on social media. It's not meant for that. And like I said before, so many people throwing their whole life out there, like everybody on social media, are their friends, and that's not the case. These people ain't your friends. They don't care. They're not praying for you. They're not going to be there to lift you up or to, speak life into you. They don't care, So you go out there, you put your whole life on social media like everyone's your friend, and then it backfires.
Yeah.
Be careful what you post. Be careful what you show people. Be careful how you let people into your personal life. That's your life. That's your, your bubble to protect. You don't let everybody into that, And when you let everybody in, you giving them power to say and do whatever they want to do. And the chance they get, they're going to take it. And so you got to be careful, what you post. Everything is not meant for social media. I think people need to know where they draw the line, and so a lot of people getting hurt because a lot of people is reckless when it comes to that, and so I'm not even gonna say it, bro. I almost went somewhere, but I ain't even gonna do it.
It's all good.
I ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna be holy, man.
I think one of the issues, right, that people get caught up in is I've never seen a generation where we got people 30 plus still looking to appease people. That's kind of...
You trying to say, man, I just turned 35.
Yeah, but I mean, it's... like in your 20s, it makes sense. In your 20s, it makes sense you're trying to appease people. If you're a teenager in your 20s, that makes sense. You start transitioning into 30... And I don't know how, and I'll be transparent. This happened with me. I got to a point I was like, all right. It's almost like I'll be damned if I do, and I'll be damned if I don't.
Yeah.
If I do everything this person says right, they're going to find something wrong. If I do everything if I mess up, they're going to find something wrong.
Yeah.
So why am I wasting my time appeasing people that aren't going to look out for my best interests? And the second that they get whatever they want, I'm a second choice to them. I'm no longer an option.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if they don't get what they want at the time that they don't get it, that they want to have it, oh, I'm the problem. I'm the issue. I'm not going to subject myself to that. There were times I told people, I said straight up, I was like, no. I was like, why? I was like,
yeah. Well, that's too, you gotta truly know who you want to be in this life.
Yeah.
If you don't, you'll, like you said, you'll be 30, 35, 40, still trying to please everybody. And you know it's not happening.
If you don't stand up for something, you will fall for anything.
You fall for anything. So you got to know who you want to be, because if you don't know, you're going to live your whole life for everybody else.
Right. And
you're going to get down to your rope, to the end of the rope, realizing that, man, I didn't live for me. I lived for everybody else. And by the time you look back, you waste so much time living your life for everybody else. So you got to know who you want to be. And I think the reason why so many people at that age is still searching or trying to please everybody is because they don't know. Because like I said before, man, once you know your calling and your purpose in life, it changes everything.
But you want to know what else is important? Knowing who's actually in your circle and who's not.
That's the season right now for me. Go ahead and preach to him, man.
It's very it's very interesting, right? Because my gift is talking in front of this microphone about life conversations like this. But my gift is also behind that lens. And my gift also is storytelling. And I made it my duty. My gift is very, very important to me. It is rare to me. It is something that I don't take for granted.
Yeah.
So when somebody comes in and decides to abuse my gift, that is like the epitome of spitting in my face without doing it. And I'm not even going to talk about gifts or what you do for a living. I'll go even further. When somebody sees the impact that you have, the aura that you carry, the essence of who you are as a person, and they abuse that, that is like they might as well spit in your face at that point. All of that has to be protected.
Yeah.
Because you can't just let anybody within your space.
Yeah.
If I have a house and I'm inviting guests, right? And I go through my list. The questions I'm going to ask is, if I didn't have these gifts, would they still appreciate the essence of who I am?
Come on.
And based on whoever I pick, I'll either get a yes or I'll get a no. If I'm getting a no, don't invite them. If I'm getting a yes, invite them.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I know that sometimes what we do brings people together.
Yeah.
But sometimes we miss the fact that there is thousands of people that dance like Neal, choreograph like Neal. There are thousands of people that film similar or different from me. But what is it about the two of us that makes people want to be around us? That's the bigger calling. That's the bigger deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is what propels and builds strong, genuine relationships. Yes, there are people that walk around and know every dance move on TikTok. Yes, Neal goes out of his way to go with curtain songs and have these kids learn certain routines from a hip hop perspective. But what's the bigger? I told him this over the phone years ago. I'm like, you're able to touch certain kids that nobody else can touch.
Appreciate that, bro.
I've told him that years ago.
That's because it's bigger.
It's bigger. It's bigger than the routine. It's bigger than the ego. Take all the ego, take all that aside. It's bigger than that.
Yeah.
And when you have something that's bigger than that, the problem is that you have, and this is getting back to your circle, you have some people, you prepare a dinner, there are some people, they ain't bring a plate, they ain't bring no drinks, they ain't bring not a freaking thing to the table. But they the first one carrying leftovers.
Yeah.
They the first ones carrying leftovers. 2-3 plates. You didn't bring nothing over. 2-3 plates. And didn't bring nothing over.
And it's Thanksgiving.
They wasn't even in the kitchen helping you prepare the food.
Come on, man.
Those people can't be around you. You preparing a whole table, whole spread. The people that are in there sweating in a hot kitchen with you, preparing that food, those are the ones that should be at the table. Yeah. Not the people coming in seasonally whenever they feel like it, and they packing 4 or 5 plates.
And you know what? And it speaks to that, and it speaks to everybody in your circle should bring something to the table. Because if they can't bring anything to the table, why are they in my circle? If all I'm gonna do is give, like, what are you giving to me? Relationships should always be a give and take on both ends, right? So, like, what are you bringing to the table? Because if I'm gonna prepare the meal, stand on my feet all day, set up the table, right? Get the cups out, all the silverware, everything, the plates, everything, the drinks. I'm gonna invite you to the table for you to eat, right? What are you bringing to my table? You feel me? And so I feel like it speaks to that. It's like so many people, they just want the company. I want to be around them because they popular. I want to be around. But is it beneficial for you? Like, you have them around you and they getting everything they need from you, but they're not giving anything, you know? So it's like, eventually you're going to drain yourself because you can only give but so much. But when you're not being poured back into, you have to ask yourself, who's in my circle? Because I feel empty and I shouldn't feel empty. If I'm driving down the road and I got 3 of my homies in the back and 1 in the passenger seat and my tank is on E, and I don't have gas money, you mean to tell me 4 people can't come together and give me some gas? It's 4 of y'all. You know what I mean? Like, what are you bringing to the table? Because if you're not bringing anything to the table, I can't keep pouring myself out because I'm gonna stay on E, and I don't want to stay on E. I'm trying to get to a half a tank, so then I can figure out how can I get to a full tank.
Right, and then I'm gonna say this real quick, right? Because there are people that they do that, right? They see this upper echelon of people, so they say upper echelon of people. They see the nice clothes. They see hair done, nails done, everything did. They keep themselves up at the gym.
Yeah.
You want to be around those people. Okay, cool. Let me be very, very frank. They got issues just like everybody else. They got family problems just like everybody else. They definitely got some baby mama drama just like everybody else. They definitely got issues potentially with drugs. They got a dysfunctional family. You think it just hits a certain class of people?
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody has something.
There are people in the hood, happy as I don't know what. Family is united and together despite it all. And there are people in mansions right now, and them kids don't come nowhere near that house for Christmas. Nowhere near that house for Thanksgiving. We are talking about 2 different ways of life, 2 different classes. that's going on right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you think money's going to solve all the problems? Please.
Nah, man, look, you got to know. I told somebody the other day, I said, like, growing up in the struggle, it was hard. But looking back, they were some of the best times in my life. Like, it was hard. I struggled a lot. It was unfortunate situations, but at the same time, I can look back and say, man, they were some of the most happiest times in my life. And the reason why is because when you don't have enough to survive, yet you find enough to survive, you feel me? Like, you learn to be happy in those moments.
Mm-hmm.
You learn to find the joy in those moments.
And you learn to be happy with the little bit you have.
Yeah, because you learn how to live with it.
Right.
This is what I have. I'm going to make the best of it. And that it is what it is. Because even when you're in survival mode, man, it's like survival mode sucks sometimes. But once you've been able to get whatever you needed, you went back to being happy. Mm-hmm. You went back to smiling and laughing and being cheerful. I know people, man, who got it all. They actually absolutely have it all. And some of the most miserable. I had a homeless dude one time, man. And he was legit homeless. And he said to me, he said, if you don't have nothing to give me, he said, that's totally fine. And I knew he was homeless because I see him all the time. You ain't got nothing to give me. He was smiling too. He said, if you don't have anything to give me, that's totally fine. God bless you. Have a good day. And you know how sometimes homeless people can be a little aggressive. They,
Right.
But this dude was nice, had a smile on his face. And I knew he was homeless because I see him all the time, man. I knew he was homeless. And dude was smiling and everything. He had a big smile on his face. Out there dirty as crap, but asking for money. But he was the most cheerful person, that I've seen versus people who actually have it all. And yet they're the most disrespectful, rude, and miserable people, I think sometimes, like you said, it's not always about the class. I think it's about what you make of what you have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely agree, because it is, you get in your 30s and as the new year rolls around and you get tired of people acting a certain type of way when it's convenient. Yeah. You want to conveniently be honest now. You want to conveniently be real now. You want to be, you want to do it when it's convenient and not be that when it's consistent.
Mm. Come on.
You want to disrespect people publicly, but don't want to be held accountable publicly.
Mm. A whole lot of those.
It's not a lot of those.
Yeah.
I remember one time somebody had said something. I remember one time it was like an issue that I had where somebody kept undermining my mother.
Mm.
You keep undermining my mother and the space that she has is hers. You keep undermining that.
Mm.
I didn't say nothing. I give you 5 summers. I'm not correcting you. I gave you 5 summers to make that situation right. You don't do it. So now you're not dealing with mom. You got to deal with me. I gave you 5 summers to do exactly what you were supposed to do right, and you did not do it.
Mm.
And you are at the point I should not have to tell you, yo, this is wrong.
Right. Common sense.
This person is at this age. So then when I had to go into cutthroat mode or to go into my mother's boundaries being disrespected, you're going to see a different side of me where I'm not very nice.
Yeah.
Then it has to get to that point. Then they're sitting there going, yo, what's going on? What is this? I'm not giving nobody no warnings. I gave you time to make that situation right. And you did not do it.
Yeah.
I should not have to talk to you like a 6-year-old as to what right from wrong is.
Right. You know it.
You know it already. At this point, you just hoping you get over.
Yeah.
And you're not about to get over by disrespecting people that I care about.
Yeah. And then try to apologize under the radar.
And by the time you apologize, the damage is done. You got people You got people that have been so wronged in life. They saying, man, I don't want to hear an apology. Just give me changed behavior, dog.
Your actions, bro.
People don't even want to hear I'm sorry no more.
Yeah. If you say you slap me in the face today, and you say you're sorry tomorrow, and you slap me in the face again on Sunday, you wasn't really sorry. You keep slapping me in the face. You know what I mean? Like, you keep slapping me in the face. Like, how in the world are you sorry if you keep repeating the same thing that you're saying you're sorry about? You're not really sorry. You slap me on Friday. You say, you know what? Let me go back Saturday and let me apologize. You apologize. And then we chilling on Sunday. We get into another altercation. You slap me again. You ain't sorry. You just keep slapping me.
Yeah.
You feel me? So, I mean, like, when you apologize, you make it right. You don't just say you're sorry, but it's the actions behind it.
And then also, I will say this. If I'm making an effort to make it right, and it's actually genuine, I'm not just switching up the day later. I'm consistently trying to make this right. And I'm still getting insults as I'm trying to make it right. I'm out.
Yeah.
Because now you're not going to make, I feel bad enough. I have a conscience. I feel bad enough. You're not going to turn around, and I do have to bring this up because there's people that do this. There are people that have been done wrong. The person is genuinely trying to correct the issue. And you still harping on this person like he ain't correct the issue.
Yeah. Let him move on.
Let them get past it.
There should be a healthy balance.
There's got to be a healthy balance. You were done wrong. I totally get it. But there's a way to be like, okay, he did me wrong, but.
So then let's talk about the women who don't want to let father see their child.
Yeah, that's another issue that I'm noticing. And
a father father and the mother that's separated, but the father will still want to be there for the child. And just because he have his situation with you gonna use the child to talk about it.
Well, I'll say this, right? I am a proponent of, and I'm saying this from very real experience. It is very important for a child to know at least who his mother and father is. It is very, very important for that to take place. Ladies, I need you to understand that if you have a dude that actually wants to be there, consider yourself lucky. Men, if you actually have a mother that actually wants to be in that child's life, regardless of what happened with y'all, consider yourself lucky. Because there are plenty of men and women that are not there for their kids. Plenty.
And I like how you said plenty of men and women, because most of the time, it points at the man. Society points the finger at the man who's the one who don't want to be there for the kid. And that's not always the case.
That's not always the case at all. There are people that I've seen people not have a good relationship with their mom. And then I go back home at night. I'm like, thank God I have a great relationship with my mother.
Yeah.
I have a phenomenal relationship with my mother. We are like this. We try to look out for each other. It's not a one-way street no more. I'm 32 years old.
Yeah.
I will do whatever I have to do to help her and progress and make sure that she is good for the rest of her life. So the problem is that some people don't have that. Guys, fellas, I see a bunch of men currently now, my generation, stepping up, taking care of their kids. Now I know there's a few out there, the situation is not that, but for those of you men who are doing that, thank you, I appreciate it. Now, to those parents that are not doing that, listen to me very, very carefully. You do not, I repeat, you do not want your child to grow up in their 20s hating your guts because you weren't there. Be real, be communicative, be present, be honest. If somebody is holding your kid hostage and playing games of you not being able to see your kid, You need to take legal action. Stop letting stuff slide. I'm not saying you got now. Here's what you're not going to do. You cannot cuss somebody out. You can't kirk off. That will be used against you in court. You can't do that. You have to think and move smart. This is chess, not checkers. You can't do that. That can be used as evidence in court. Stop it. What you have to do is that you have to articulate and also show that you are passionate about that child and his well-being. And if the judge sees that, then the leverage is more in your court. Because the problem is that person that is holding your child hostage to the point where they are playing games for you not to see your child, that ugly and that bitterness is going to show up in court. They can't help it. They can try to mask it. They can try to manipulate the situation, but it is going to show up in court.
Every superhero had to take off their mask at some point.
Exactly. So,
supervillain. That's what I should have said.
Every villain at some point reveals themselves. It always happens. So, I'm saying this to say that when it comes to kids did not ask for a dysfunctional home. Kids did not ask to hear a whole bunch of fighting and screaming over their head. What they are looking for is whoever loves them to be present, to give them guidance, show them right from wrong. If you don't do your due diligence and don't do your best to be in that child's life, it is going to affect you for the rest of your life. And it is going to show up in a lot of ways that you didn't even expect. Trust me when I tell you, I know this from real experience. You do not want your grown son to hate your guts to the point you don't know if he's going to punch you or hug you. You do not want your daughter cussing you out. Not because she's a wild child or a troublemaker, right. Because you have not been there in 20 years and now you want to show up at the doorstep when she's fully grown because it's easier.
Yeah. Yeah. And now you want to tell her what to do.
And now you trying to coach. This ain't the time for coaching. Coaching was back in the 90s when she was 9 to 7 years old.
Preach to him, Everett. Get him.
Coaching was when they needed that guidance in sports at teenage years so their skills could to develop, and you wasn't there.
Yeah. Yeah.
The coaching should have taken place when they got bullied in school and they came home crying. And you were supposed to be in that role to console them and show them bullying's not right. This is the way you handle it. But you weren't there.
Yeah.
You were and another thing, stop looking at the child and the child looks like the person that you don't like. So you take it out on the child and mistreat him because he looks like a spitting image of somebody that you dealt with that you don't want to deal with no more. That child is not him.
You preaching today, bro.
That child is not her. Stop doing that.
Yeah.
You are inflicting a generational length of trauma on that kid. You putting generational curses on that kid that they got to go through year after year trying to figure out, New Year coming, what am I going to be like? New Year coming, what am I going to be like? New Year coming, what am I going to be like? And you wonder why these kids walk around with effed up mindsets and low self-esteem, depression, borderline suicidal. And then you want to sit over there and then to make you feel comfortable, you want to throw this kid pills to cure it. That's not going to work.
Yeah.
That's going to make the matter worse.
Yeah. You got to go back.
You have to go back. You have to do the gritty healing process quickly.
When the flower don't bloom that you want to blossom, you got to go back and figure out what happened at the root.
You have to do, because I am tired of seeing single parents walk around with a look of just resentment and bitterness, and they got to grit their teeth and take care of a child all by themselves. I'm tired of seeing that. I am tired of seeing every time I turn around, you got the mom pissed at the dad pissed at the mom, and they both got issues and they're not solving their issues, and this child is right here.
Mm.
I'm tired of seeing posts and somebody saying, Happy Father's Day, Mom.
Yeah.
I'm tired of seeing a post saying, Happy Mother's Day, Dad.
Yeah.
Why are we switching the roles up? Because there's too many broken homes. And I don't care how much money your family came from, where you lived at. I see it in the hood. I see it in the suburbs. I see it done in the high class mansion houses that everybody wants to get towards, apparently. There is no difference. Everybody has these New Year resolutions. You want to know what's a good resolution? Stop the generational curse. Take care of your kids. Bring the family back together.
The generational strongholds in the,
Yes.
in the biblical. Yeah, but you're right, bro. You're right. And we
That's
don't realize
what we should be focused on. But we get so focused on the material New Year's revolutions that you're not going to keep up in 3 months.
Yeah, you need to focus on something that's worth focusing on.
You're not. That's going to become unimportant when that weather changes. Some of y'all say, oh, I got a New Year's resolution. Y'all be chasing a sundress. It ain't even summertime yet.
My man said when the weather changed, when it's cold outside, I got the month of May. oh, my man said when
Y'all switch up faster than seasons. Stop it.
Nah,
This is going to take time.
they acting like it's winter when it's summer, huh?
Right. This ain't the time. Oh, it's cuffing season. No. You're behind, need to go to therapy.
Somebody take the mic. No,
You need to go to therapy. I'm literally trying to help somebody.
yeah.
I'm not going to sit over here and act like I got it all together.
But you know where you are.
Yeah, I know where I'm at.
There's a lot of people who don't know, and instead of trying to figure that out, they're running to these temporary fixes.
Yes. And the thing about it is, right, and I'm going to leave y'all with this. I have made an effort to mend certain family ties that weren't mended throughout this whole year. Built relationship with family I didn't even know. If I'm willing to do that, despite all whatever happened, who did what to who, and I have come on this podcast and said it over and over again, I'll cut somebody off for disrespecting me. I've said that on multiple episodes. And here I am willing to mend family stuff together for the bigger play and for the bigger vision at hand. How come y'all can't do it? Because you get further once the generational curses are broken. I'm not saying you got to be best buds with the person. That's not what I'm saying. But at least be cordial co-parents. At least be cordial cousins.
Yeah. I always say you got to know the relationship. Remember that one?
Right.
You got to know the relationship, know where it stands, and be okay with that.
Yeah.
Everybody's not meant to be this close. And I think that we look at people who's not meant to be this close to us, and we see it as if they're our enemies. That's not always the case.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that those people are your enemy. Nah, they're not your enemy. They're just not this close.
Yeah.
There's people that's meant to be this close, so you hold them close. And then there's others who's meant to be at arm's length. You keep them at arm's length. And as long as you keep it cordial, that's all that matters. Understand the relationship and where it stands. Keep it respectful. And that's it. But the problem is we try to, like I said before, force relationships to happen that was never meant to happen. And then later we're like, man, you phony, you fake, you're not real. No, they're not. They exactly who they are. You forced something that was never supposed to happen, and now you're blaming them by saying, "Oh, you fake." No, they're not fake. They just showed you who they were.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
I don't know. I think we need to come to an understanding on what it means to maneuver through these relationships, because everybody's not meant to be in your life forever. Some come for a season. You gotta let them go when it's time to go.
All right. So hopefully with all this, you take the time to really adjust and really evaluate where you're at going into this new year. And also, man, just be transparent and honest with yourself. There's nothing wrong with knowing where you are, knowing where you're struggling at, and knowing where you got to improve. So with that being said, Neal, I want to thank you
Always
so
a
much,
pleasure,
man, for just coming in and just us giving us gems like this. We did not have a script for this episode. We just came in and just talked. So
that's what it's all about, right?
Yeah, that's what it's all about. You guys enjoy your new year. Be prosperous. Be transparent. Be real. That's all we ask. And we're going to hit y'all with another episode next week. All right? Y'all take care. Happy New Year to y'all. See ya.